Okay guys, you will need to listen and actually pay attention, because in this video I will be revealing 10 things that are hidden in a plain sight and that nobody is telling you about and that nobody is teaching you. These are not your basic things that you already know about that everybody is telling you about. These are also small things that can have a very big impact if you do it right or if you do it wrong. And at the end of the video I will also share a bonus tip about something that you probably also didn't know but can help you get some gear really fast and really easy. And if you actually knew about any of these 10 things, let me know by subscribing and liking this video. So let's start with the first and most important thing that is related to your gear progression. More specifically, transferring from blue gear to purple gear. Why you should do it, when you should do it, and how you should do it. The general rule of the thumb is this. If you can unlock and upgrade all 3 traits on a blue gear piece and level that gear piece to +9, then you should absolutely do it. Some of the blue gear pieces are easily obtainable and easily farmable, so this shouldn't be a problem. But when should you transfer that blue gear into a purple gear? When you have, for example, a blue gear item with no traits, like this boots that I have, it has no traits, it is +9. If you get a purple gear item, a purple boots that you can use for your build, then you shouldn't have any problems with transferring this blue gear piece into a +6 purple gear piece. As you can see, you can easily transfer it, you get boots that are +6. If you didn't know, +9 blue turns into +6 purple. But what happens when you have a blue gear item that is +9 and already has some traits leveled up and unlocked? Well, this is what most people don't know. When transferring to a purple gear, as you can see, normally you would still get +6. But this is the important thing that many people don't know. Transfer blessing. Where does this transfer blessing come? It comes from these unlocked traits. So with this, you transfer 480 blessing into this purple gear piece, and when you start upgrading traits on this purple gear piece, you can use that blessing to have an increased chance of success, because that's how blessing works. So what does this mean? This means that it is not a waste to upgrade blue gear items and fully trait them, because when you transfer that fully traded blue gear piece into purple, I think with 3 of them fully maxed out, you gain around 800 blessing. And 800 blessing is enough to guarantee you a 100% success rate on 3 upgrades. Because normally, without the blessing, you have 10% chance when you are using blue item on a purple. So just remember, it is not a waste to fully trade blue gear pieces and then transfer them. The next thing is something that a lot of people still don't know, and that is that you can sell purple gear items that you obtain and that you drop. Everything except the weapons that drop from dungeons can be turned into a lithograph, and that lithograph becomes tradable and then it can be put on the auction house. And this is where money happens, because look at all of these items and how much they're worth in Lucent. These are all the gear items that are dropped from world bosses, from dungeons, from any other place that you can get the gear drop. And then you turn it into a lithograph and you sell it. So how does this work? There are 3 crafting NPCs, one for weapon, one for armor, one for accessory, and each of them has different blank lithographs that require different items. If, for example, I wanted to turn this gloves into a lithograph, you can simply click on it, go on this icon, and then it's going to tell you that you need precious blank armor lithograph. You would walk to an armor NPC, you would click on this icon, scroll down, and then you can see exactly what you need. But the biggest thing that you're gonna need are going to be these tradable materials. For armor you need Sollant, for weapons you need Rubik's, and for accessories you need Embret. And how would you do that? You would go into an auction house and you would have to buy them straight from the auction house. They're not that expensive, so buying 4 of them is going to cost me 80 Lucent, and if I sell the lithograph, it usually goes for around 1000 Lucent, so I would make 920 Lucent of profit. Also in the top left corner you will notice that I don't have a lot of Sollant. Sollant is used for literally everything, for upgrading gear, traits, teleporting, literally anything that you have to do in this game uses Sollant. But there is one way that some people still don't know that you can easily obtain Sollant, and other than farming open world dungeons, if you have Lucent, there's a way that you can transfer Lucent into Sollant. The previously mentioned Rubik's, Marint, Emerald and Stallon can be purchased for Lucent on Auction House. As you can see, if you sell Rubik's, you get 288,000 Sollant, same with Emerald and Stallon, but if you sell Marvints, you get 432 Sollant per one. So this Marint is worth 20 Lucent, and 20 Lucent is worth 432 Sollant. It is connected with the previous lithograph selling. So if you sell lithographs, you get a lot of Lucent, and then if you need Sollant, you can come here, you buy precious Marvints, as many as you need, you come to any NPC that lets you sell stuff, and you can simply put them here. As you can see, put the Stallon, I get 720 Sollant when I sell this, and now I have 1.1 million Sollant. That was very easy, and those two things are very much connected, where you can make a lot of Lucent and then use that Lucent if you need Sollant. The fourth thing is related to Amito Expedition, and this is something that you probably didn't know because I only figured that out on the global release. When you do your Amito Expeditions, you can select any of the region you want, and then on the side you're gonna be able to see all the possible rewards that you can get, from materials to these chance issues chest. But there is one region that has a specific chest that has a specific item, and it's only one that specific region, and that is Daybreak Shore. As you can see, you can get these three materials, but this chest has a Kraken fishing rod. This is the best fishing rod in the game, and you can only currently obtain it through this expedition, getting this chance chest, opening it, and you have an RNG of getting 4.2% to obtain it from the chest. So you have RNG on top of an RNG, but once you get this fishing rod, it's the absolute best fishing rod in the game. The fifth thing is connected to the previous one, as it also is important for fishing. A lot of you want to know this, but you shouldn't fish right now. You should stack all the baits that you get from daily contract coin merchants. As you can see, I have stacked 480 fishing baits. And why am I stacking these fishing baits? If you ever did fishing, there's a chance that you can obtain a small sack and a big sack. Right now, since a lot of the content isn't unlocked, the rewards in big sacks are still missing. The major and the most important rewards in the big sacks that you can get are going to be unlocked when 2 arch bosses are also unlocked. And these big sacks can drop 7th soul fragment, which is tradable when it drops from a big sack, which means that you can sell it on an auction house for Lucent. A second item is going to be from Queen Bellandir, which is also Queen Bellandir's soul fragment. These two have an RNG chance to drop from a big sack when fishing. They're tradable and you can sell them for Lucent. That's why you should stack all the baits that you can, so once these bosses are unlocked, these soul fragments will also unlock and they will be added into the big sacks. Now I am not sure if stacking big sacks and keeping them on the side will also work, and these items will be added on already existing big sacks, or they will be added later to a maintenance. I don't know that. I'm stacking bait, I don't want to take the risk. The sixth thing is something that I already mentioned in one of my previous videos, but I'm gonna mention it again since a lot of people still don't know how this works and what it does. Dissolving higher tier items is always going to give you a lower tier item. For example, if I was to dissolve these precious polished crystals, I would get 15 rare polished crystals. And the best thing about this is that I can go to any crafter, go into this section, and then these 5 rare polished crystals can again be turned into a 1 precious polished crystals. And the only thing that you pay is Sollant. So you can freely dissolve down and craft up items that you need. If you need precious polished crystals for something, you can craft up, but if you need rare polished crystals and you have precious polished crystals, you can dissolve down. You can do this with literally anything, from green to blue, from blue to purple. Dissolving purple gives you blue, dissolving blue gives you green. It can be done with absolutely anything, even skill books. You can dissolve purple skill books to get blue skill books. Dissolving blue skill books gives you green books, and you can craft them up from green, blue to purple. Thing number 7 is related to your daily contract. When you do your daily contracts, you have an option to refresh and an option to accept. When you finish your previous contracts, you're always going to have an option to refresh, and you should always do it. So the first time you come into this NPC, you want to click refresh and see which the rewards you're gonna get. You're of course aiming for blessing pouches, and that's why after every time you accept one contract, you will want to refresh. This is important. You accept one and then you refresh, so you have more chances of actually gaining blessing pouches. This way you can also try to go for specific contracts or for specific rewards. But there's another important thing here. As you can see, every contract has a number above them. 1 is indicated that this is tier 1, 2 is tier 2, and as you can see, I also got a tier 3 contract, which means that the requirements to complete it are going to be higher, but also look at the rewards. For tier 1, you get 75k Sollant and 30 contract coins, but for tier 3, you get 225 Sollant and 45 contract coins. So it is important whenever you get these that you can also grab the tier 3 contract. You accept it, you refresh, and then you wait for another one. I got all tier 1s, no blessing pouches. I'm gonna grab something that I need, accept, refresh. And as you can see, I get 2 blessing pouches here. Accept 1, accept 2, refresh. I have one more contract to take. Nothing important here that I can grab. Grab an easy, something that gives you easy rewards and is fast to do. Accept, and there you go. I have a tier 3 contract and I have 2 contracts that's gonna give me blessing pouches. I call that a win. Another important thing that I get asked almost every day in my YouTube comments and on my Discord is, hey Freshie, I need this gear item. Where can I find it? If you open your inventory and you go on any gear piece that you want, for example, this grip of executioner, you click on it, and every gear item, not just gear items, every material, everything that exists in a game has this tooltip called how to acquire. You simply click here and it's going to show you exactly where that ingredient, where that gear drops. As you can see, grip of executioner drops in secret dungeon Death Abyss, and it can also be crafted. Another way that you can see this for the items that you don't have. For example, I have a lot of the stuff here in favorites that I still need. For example, this heroic hood of resistance. You click here, there's a tooltip how to acquire. You click it, and as you can see, it says that it drops from black boars in Pure Light Hill. It can also be obtained from lithograph book, and it can also be crafted. Any item that exists in a game has this tooltip that you can click, and it's going to tell you exactly where it is. Another thing that is going to majorly improve your combat targeting experience. Going into settings, under gameplay and target. First, you will want to go into this first targeting selection method. You want to put it search by order of priority. For PvP, I'm using 1, 3, 4 and 5, but for PvE you will also want to include priority 6, priority 9 and priority 10. So if you're doing both PvP and PvE, this is how your first targeting priority should be. Then you're gonna scroll down. And here is the second important targeting option. If you're playing on classic mode, you will want to enable this. But if you're playing on action mode, you will want to enable this, which is also going to be enabling this. And you will also want to do a search by order of priority and use those same things that you did above. It has to be exactly the same. And now let me explain you what it does. I'm gonna disable it just to demonstrate. To target this dummy, I have to click to select the target, and then it starts attacking, and then I can use skills. Just hovering over it doesn't work. I cannot use any skills. I'm spamming all my skills. It doesn't work. So you have to click or you have to press tab to cycle and then select it with tab. And this is going to follow this priority. First it's gonna focus on attacking players in PvP, and it's gonna go and it's gonna cycle through this priority until it finds a target that matches this priority. So for example, this target dummies. As you can see, I don't have them selected. I'm literally gonna go like right here. So I'm literally standing in range. As you can see on my skill bar, when my skills are grayed out, that means I'm out of the range and there's no selectable targets. But if I go in range, the skill bars become available. But I'm not targeting anyone, but I can press a button and it automatically targets the target dummy that is closest to me. Let me demonstrate it again. I'm going to literally stand right here in between and I'm just going to start spamming skills. And as you can see, it started attacking the nearby target. If I stand close to this, I'm not targeting anything, press the button, it targets this. So as you can see, I can literally stand anywhere, not even look at the target. As long as I'm not hovering over, for example, if I'm hovering over this guard, it's not going to let me click the button. But as soon as the guard is not in the focus and I'm close in range to the dummies, I can use it to automatically target them. Another important thing that you will want to do is go into shortcuts and bind stop a basic attack and cancel target. Let me demonstrate you how this works. I'm going to select this target and I'm going to stand close to this target. They're not going to be in focus or anything, so I'm attacking the target that is further away from me. So if I use these skills and then I cancel the target and then I immediately use another skill, it targets the target that is close to me. If nothing is on your screen, it's going to target the closest thing. But if you, for example, let's say hovering over this, is going to attack this. So this works both ways, hovering over it and targeting it. And the final thing that I want to show you is related to a battle pass. If you didn't know, even as a free-to-play player, you can easily reach level 50 because the battle pass lasts for 25 more days, and as you can see, I am already at max level. But the important thing is that inside a battle pass, there's a star shop. And you collected these stars by either getting them as a reward from a battle pass, or when you max out your battle pass, every other level, you're gonna get some star crystals. And you can use it to buy specific items, like most important will be buying resistant contract extra count passes. Or maybe you need trade extraction stones or trade conversion stones, or maybe for cooking ingredients you need some salt and rotten. You can buy all of this here, and you can also buy additional skins. If you don't have a premium, you get these skins in a premium, but if you don't have a premium, you can collect 600 of them and you can buy a skin as a free-to-play player. And another important thing is that there is a lot of maintenance and a lot of compensations are being sent out, and Amazon is sending Ornate Coins chest, which you can use by scrolling down in this shop, and you can also spend it on buying items that you need, either glowstones for upgrading your gear, skill books, trade extraction stones. I mostly focus on buying blessing pouches and enchanted ink because these are the two most valuable items and I don't really need anything else. And as promised, the last final bonus tip that I have for you is related to these special resistance medals. You can acquire them by killing open world bosses, you get 1 per kill, but also by doing these dynamic events. These are all level 50 dynamic events, it doesn't work on the lower ones. As you can see, you get 1 as a performance reward. Currently we only have Requiem of Light unlocked, so you can get 1 as a performance reward. So why are these important? If you go into view usage, you can see that you can craft heroic resistance armors. All of them are available here. This isn't the greatest gear that you will want to use, it's a good starter purple gear, but some gear builds like mine for example require 2 pieces. For example, I need this tunic and I also need this hood. So when I collect 40 of these resistance medals, I can craft the hood. And if you farm enough open world bosses and you do events daily, you can pretty much every 5 or 6 days you can craft 1 of these items that you need, sell it for trades, sell it for lithographs, do whatever you want with it, use it, upgrade your gear. But this is very important thing that you should be farming and stacking, and I honestly don't see anyone mentioning it, but it's so easy to get good gear and the gear that you might need but you don't even know that you need it. And that's pretty much everything I have for you today. These 11 tips can easily turn into mistakes if you don't understand them and if you don't do them correctly. But hopefully you learned something new, because I honestly was not expecting that a lot of people didn't know about this and that a lot of content creators aren't talking about these things and aren't sharing these things. These are very small things that are easily missed, and hopefully I've opened your eyes and you can actually start improving your gear and not make these mistakes like I previously did. In any case, thank you for watching, consider subscribing and watch some of my other videos appearing on your screen.